I'm back in Expand because I've created a track called Keys, added the Expand plugin, and I'm ready to add a little keyboard part to my song, so I've chosen the Chorus Suitcase. I went to the 14 bank, skipped over all these pluses, and then down here at the bottom is Chorus Suitcase, so there it is. So it's not the most cutting-edge plugin in the world. It's a Fender 88 chorus Rhodes with a little bit of chorus on it. So I wanted to show you that. I can change the attack of this piano. I'll just play a little bit. So roll some of the attack off. Notice when I change it from its initial settings, its default settings, this compare light comes on. That means if I click this, it'll go back to the beginning where it started before I started messing with it. And then if I hit compare again, I can compare what change I've made. So I'll go back to here. Decay is how long it hangs on after the note. Release you can set your release time very long. And get unique sounds. A Rhodes really can't do that unless you hold the sustain pedal down, but this allows you to do it without holding the sustain pedal. Cutoff is kind of interesting. Sometimes you can get a little filter feeling. A little envelope opening, like a little bit of a wah-wah. So let me go back to compare. And then there's one other very handy little device over here on the right. It can arpeggiate phrases for you. So I'll turn arpeggiator on. You have to see this sort of Twilight Zone-y little icon to activate it. So I'm not playing da 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 da. I'm just holding down a chord, like a C chord. So it'll just arpeggiate whatever notes you're holding down. It'll arpeggiate them up or down, or lots of patterns that you can choose. It'll arpeggiate them fast or slow, or lots of choices here. So I'm on the 16th, but it will arpeggiate them in time. If you hold down the note and it's quantized to the downbeat, it's an easy way for you to create fast phrases that you might not have the chops to play. Speaking of not having the chops to play, I'm going to try and lay down this keyboard part now. So I'm going to jump back to the edit, close Expand, turn my count off on, and see if I can give it this little melody. The melody I have in mind is now what I really have in mind is a harmony along with that melody. And I think what I'll do, because my laziness is well established here, is play it the first time and then clone it to get the harmony. So let me show you that. All right, let's just use that much of it. And I'm going to give it a listen, take it out of record, turn off the count off. All right, so that very first note was rushed. So I'm going to double click in here, and we're going to have to do a little bit of editing here. And maybe I should just quantize the whole caboodle here. Event, operations quantize to a 16th note. Let's see what happens. You'll see notes jump around back here when I do this. And that may have made it better. Let's listen. Okay, so I really spanked that little E right there. this little guy. Let's select only him, and let's bring his velocity, not volume. You can hear there's kind of a crossover. Let's kind of bring him in line with all the other volumes and take a listen. It did have a nice feel to it. It would be nice if I got just a tad of that. It's more binary than that. You either get it or you don't. So how do we make a melody along with a harmony out of this? Let's close this editor window. Let's make a new track. It's a stereo instrument track. It's going to have the same key harmony. Same plugin as the expand, so Option drag him over. That should give me my Rhodes sound there. Now I have exactly 2 copies, right? 2 exact copies of the same thing. And I'm going to go to the harmony, Option drag him. He does have an instance of the plugin now, so he's not gray. Let's fix this end problem that we know we have, where the clip end is longer than the notes that contain it. And then I'm going to do a little bit of editing here. So I'll just move these one note at a time. And I'm just doing this kind of in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Now, it might be easier if I did it this way. I'm going to undo these because doing them one at a time is kind of time-consuming. It's not going to constrain the scale if I just grab them all and move them down a minor third. But it gets me closer to where I want to be. So now I just look and see what notes aren't right. Dun, dun, dun. That's a C sharp, and that needs to be a C, C. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's grab all the C sharps and make them all Cs. And let's take a listen. I love it. So it's the perfect job for a lazy guy. So what I've done is cloned my harmony part. They're phrased exactly right. Now, they're partly phrased exactly right because I quantized them, and I could also quantize this part afterwards. But let's say I phrased something up here that I wanted to keep down here using this clone method, and then just reharmonizing keeps all the phrasing that I might have put in the original and keeps it in the clone or the harmony. The velocities are exactly the same. And because it's on its own track now, if I had played both notes at the same time, I can do something like, back to the mix window. Let's change this iteration of expand and add a slightly different sound to it. Now I'm looking for a harp, which you would think maybe I'd find in the harps. No, thanks. How about strings? Strings. There's the soft harp in the string patch. And now I get, if I listen to it, let's bring our Rhodes down. Not quite that much. And bring the harp down just a smidge. All right, I'll take it. And now the harmony is being played by a different sound than the melody. Let's take it out of record and take a listen. And I have all sorts of options for how I can mix those, pan those, put reverb on them. They're on separate tracks now. So that's how to extract a harmony part from your melody part.